I don't want to do this. Okay, guys. You might want to, you know, just go away from the stream right now. Or have like some kind of shield that prevents absolute to get to you. Okay. We have the by the way, actually, you know, the Atlas guide here, right? And I did the mistake of going to the comment section and actually responding to a something. Okay, let's just start here. So here we have it. Sorry, but the rule number 2 doesn't work at all. Okay, so as reference, the rule number 2 is
maps are also connected via small dashed lines, and this is an important feature to remember. Rule 1. Maps that are locked will only drop from connected map. Drop the 3 map week or 2.
Okay, here's the rule 2.
Connected locked maps to the map base that is currently being run have twice as high chance to drop than unlocked maps, whether the unlocked maps are connected or not. This is useful for getting certain maps to drop. Let us now take a look at an example of this.
So for example, when you're doing a beach map, you have twice as high chance to get a desert compared to what it like in this example, because this is already unlocked and this isn't. And if you have no other T2s, the chance to get this is 2 out of 3, and this is 1 out of 3. Right, because, you know, 2 out of 3. Like 1 out of 3 multiplied by 2, which is twice as high chance, is 2 out of 3, right? So he's saying that doesn't work at all, right? Helped me a lot, this league, to make my Atlas work again in Soul Self-One as well, expecting to drop unlicked maps. Okay, I shouldn't make fun of his typing, that doesn't really matter here. In tier 11, I had more than 12 maps. Out of 5. And the 4 unlocked, and not a single drop of all unlocked maps. Whatever tier 10 I was running. He's saying that he had every single tier 11 unlocked. And whenever he was running T10s, none of the unlocked... Okay, first of all, he's talking about what he actually means, that he had a lot of T11s unlocked. And by running T10s, he was not able to obtain the locked maps connected to them. I mean, he probably thinks that by running a... Okay, of course, I'm making assumptions now, but I'm making assumptions based on what he actually says, okay? So, like, I'm assuming things based on his reply, okay? So I wouldn't even be I wouldn't be even surprised if we think that by running Wasteland as a T10, and if you have every other T11 unlocked, but that lair, that you somehow higher chance to get a lair because he doesn't realize the connected part. So if you wanted to find the lair, you would actually have to run both, right? Assuming he doesn't even know that, okay? Spend days on this beeb. The fuck does this mean? Until I unlocked all tier 11 maps. I don't. So he's like saying that it took him a long time to get all of the unlocked maps. Like the T11's unlocked. Okay. Definitely wrong on this. Sorry. Sorry, EE, you're wrong. States it. Never do into a higher tier unless you have all maps of that tier ready to run and you're confident to succeed. Validating them. What the fuck? But either way, he's saying that you should never go into higher tier. Oh, beep. Oh, he's swearing. He's swearing and just uses it. Okay, I get it. It's factually brilliant. Okay. So he says that his idol Demi here says that never go into high tier maps. So never go into T11 maps before you have obtained all of the T11 maps. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do it. Let's listen to him, okay?
What's up, YouTube? Dem here with the Dem Explains on how to fill out your atlas. As you can see, I have 159% completion, and we are in Softcore Dev League. I got this full completion about day 5 of the league, so I just want to walk you through how you actually...
You did not get your shit done without trading. Let's just get that out of the way, okay? You bought maps.
And just do that, right? So a lot of people are getting confused.
Do you hear this, by the way? Do I need to make it louder? I already know where he's incorrect and the other guy who is stating as this is the, you know, the gospel. Also, by the way, I'm not a Steven Crowder fan. I just find these Change My Minds fucking hilarious because he talks to random shitters on the street that haven't prepared at all. It's just like me going to Reddit against someone who has no fucking idea what they're talking about Atlas. It's kind of the same thing. It's good. It's quite a bit of entertainment. Same with all the Destiny fucking videos are great. Okay.
Those are like what they should be doing to fill out their atlas, where they should...
Good enough. Still too silent.
Start, what kind of techniques they should use. We're gonna go through all of that.
Even more. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna do it on my OBS. I'm gonna keep this somewhere here. Okay. Minus 25. Let's go 50. Okay.
Starting with how the atlas actually works.
Is this good now?
So if you have, assume you have 0 completed on the atlas, the way that a map will drop is you'll start getting map drops around level, say, I think it's 55 to 60 plus in the normal act zones. So like once you hit probably act 8 or so, you'll start seeing map drops. Occasionally they'll just be T1 maps.
Actually start dropping at act 7. Sorry, yeah, 7. When you get to the first area that drops, what the fuck, where is it? The first area that drops maps is Chamber of Sins. You know, there's the first map division, you know, whatever.
And
Kinda
that'll give you dungeon, graveyard, lookout, and beach, right? So you're gonna want to do that farm, just like farm blood aqueducts, farm whatever it might be, until you achieve one of each of those. And the reason for that is once you complete a map, it'll like...
You don't need to farm to get all of those maps. Those T1 maps can drop regardless if they're unlocked or not. Just saying. Just saying. I guess that would be the first one already.
Try to drop that map always. It's really weird. Like, for example, if I was trying to... Let's say I had only a tier 4 map completed, and I was running a tier 4 grotto. This was my one map I had completed. If I ran a grotto, it would most likely drop grotto as a T4.
It would only drop grotto because it's your only T4 map in your atlas. It literally cannot drop any other T4 but grotto, because grotto is not connected to any other any other T4 map. And the grotto is T4 map, so it literally cannot drop any other T4 map. Okay? Good.
And then as a T5 connected map, you have two options. It'll try to drop channel or it'll try to drop maze. Because
yep, true. So if you have no T5 maps unlocked in your atlas, yeah, it only drops these because they're the only maps in the drop pool for T5 maps. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
The atlas always tries to drop whatever's connected, unless you have another...
That's not exactly true.
It'll try to drop channel or it'll try to drop maze, because the atlas always tries to drop whatever's connected.
Because it tries to drop maps that are connected. That's not true. That's only true if the connected map is locked. Then it has a higher chance. But if you have every T5 map completed on your atlas and you run Grotto, each of those T5 maps has equal chance to drop, regardless if they are connected or not. So that's kind of incorrect too.
Unless you have another one completed. So if I'm running up to tier 4s, again, atlas always 4, and then as a T5 connected map, you have two options. It'll try to drop channel or it'll try to drop maze, because the atlas always tries to drop whatever's connected, unless you have,
if they're locked,
have another one completed. So if I'm running up to tier 4s...
Okay, he mentions unless you have something completed. It still prefers to drop these two maps if they're locked. And if they're unlocked, it makes no difference.
An example, this is my tier 4. I run this over and over and over again. I'm going to get a bunch of these, and I'm going to get a bunch of maze and channels if I have no other tier.
I mean, yeah, that's true. If you don't have any other T5s and you run a bunch of Grottos, you will get bunches of mazes and channels because they're the only T5s that can drop. Yep. Yep.
5s. If I were to complete a different tier 5, for example, if I had Ancient City completed over here, and I kept running Grotto, because I have that map completed, it's going to most likely drop this map.
Wait, did you say most likely? Did you just say...
And I kept running Grotto. Because I have that map completed, it's going to most likely drop this map a lot.
Oh, sorry. Okay. If you have maze and channel unlocked and Ancient City unlocked, and you run Grotto, you're not most likely going to be obtaining Ancient City. You have 33.33333% chance to get it. That's not most likely. That's 1 in 3 in average. Okay? That's not most likely. If you don't have maze or channel unlocked, so these two are locked and your only T5 map completed or unlocked in Atlas is an Ancient City, and you run a Grotto, then your chance is even less to get an Ancient City. Now you have, okay, you have 3 maps, 3 T5 maps that can drop when you run the Grotto, which of 2 are locked. So they have twice the chance over the unlocked map. So now you will have like what? 2 out of 5 chance to get a maze, 2 out of 5 to get a channel, and 1 out of 5 to get an Ancient City. So instead of 33.333%, it's actually 20% versus 40% for these two. So it's even less. So in the case that he's explaining, it's even more wrong than in the charitable, like the first example I gave.
For example, if I had Ancient City completed over here...
So we're like less than 2 minutes into the video. I don't know how many misinformations we have had here.
And I kept running Grotto. Because I have that map completed, it's going to...
I mean, Demi might actually know how the system works, but he is terrible at explaining it. Like, this is like actually just misinformation on this video.
Slightly drop this map a lot, which is where people start having issues, because they'll collect a bunch of maps for a tier of a specific tier, but they'll do one of them first. Like, say you'll have, I don't know, let's just go to like a T8 map. You did a Infested Valley and you have no other tier 8s. Your Atlas is going to keep dropping this tier 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Okay, so when if you have only one map and you run like any other T7, while it's not more likely to drop an Infested Valley, because it's one of the options, and if you keep running the T7s, or T6s, I guess, in T6s it's only T8 that can drop. But in the T7s, you occasionally get an Infested Valley because it's one of the options. So that's why they pile up, not because of the reasons that he explained before. Right? So while what he says here is true, it's true because of different reasons that he said earlier.
You get the other maps. So what I would recommend doing is make sure you have one of each of the tier 1s, right? And then you do whatever you need to get them completed. So for white maps, you need to do a map.
So basically he's saying that the complete... do not go to the next tier of maps before you have all of the maps in that tier. That's tier by tier strat that I explained in my video, like, I don't know, was it like 3.2 or whatever, right? He's literally just explaining tier by tier strat, but while he's explaining it, he's also misinforming his viewers about Atlas mechanics, which is bad, okay? We don't even need to look further in this video. I don't know how much of the rest will be right. It's irrelevant in this case. This is all we needed, right? Let's go back to the comment. How do I know connected locked maps have twice the chance to drop? POE patch notes 3.1 or 2, I don't remember. I think it's 3.2. If somebody remembers, tell me, but I think... Oh, here. It was 3.2. Okay. Here. Map and Atlas balance. There is no limit to the number... wait. You are now twice as likely to obtain maps you have not yet completed on the Atlas as maps you have. This is intended to help players who choose to play solo complete the Atlas. So this is the rule 2 that we checked here. Like it was here, right?
Now first we have to connect all maps. Every map, however, will then be late run have twice as high chance.
It's literally this. Connected locked maps have twice as high drop chance than unlocked maps. Right? Assuming that connected, I mean that, so in the case like here, so the only locked mapped beach is desert. The other T2 maps, if they're locked, cannot drop because they are not unlocked and not connected, right? So let's go back to the okay. So he gave us the video, right? Yeah, he doesn't understand. Rule 2 is not incorrect. Yes. What you're saying is staying in demo state. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the patch note. Yeah. This is a simple quote, right? That is proven wrong in 3.4. Believe me, I struggled days on this. Provide me evidence and data. Screenshot from my Delph Soul cell phone. I mean, I've seen this. I don't know they're already like point picture. Okay. Man, this man must have run hundreds and hundreds of maps to have this many red maps. Like, he must be like the percentage of a percentage of a percentage. Because he has red maps. It's crazy. Okay. What does this actually prove? It shows his T11 map tab, and he has every other T11 except 2. And none of these are unlocked in his Atlas because it doesn't have the... Oh wait, that's, I think that's completion actually. When you have the line here, it's completion, right? But yeah, like I don't like what is he trying to prove here? Right? Okay. I was dropping again and again and again the only same P maps T11. All T maps completed. Until I unshaped those. He's talking about like locking them again, I think. Great advice. Ooh. And then only I was able to drop other T11 maps. Okay, so what he did, he locked all of his T11s. It shows unlocked too. Yeah, like the when you have the line here, that's when it's completed with the bonus, right? Okay, so oh shit, dude, he actually locked all of his already completed T11s. All this extra, dude. That feels bad. That feels bad. Okay, that feels bad. Why though? He did that because he was unable to get the other locked T11s. Oh god, this goes back to when I said earlier that he probably thinks that by running Wasteland. Sorry for the assumption, by the way. I think it's justified. So makes me believe that he thinks that you could find the log. Like, so let's say that you have Lair as the last locked map, T11, and every other T11 is unlocked. Sexton blocking. By running any T10s, he could think that he would get the Lair. Okay, that would be the worst case scenario if that was the case. And would perfectly explain why he would do that. Okay. No, let's be charitable and think he actually understands the difference between getting the locked maps. Right? Let's say that you have all the T11s. Right? You have all the T11s, except the Lair, and you have all the T10s. So first of all, how many T10s do we have in the Atlas? Wait, like caps. Wait. Yeah, okay, so we have, let's just ignore the shape map, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, actually let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 T10 maps. So every time a T10 map drops, you have a 10% chance for the map to be bug, which is the map that we need to run in order to get Lair. Just look at the map stats. That's too easy. That's too easy, okay? We can do that. Just for you, okay? Oh god, here. Let's just get it in front so we can actually see it. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, I actually count. I pass. I count it. Remember, that's a shape map. This doesn't. We're ignoring the shape, right? So you have 10% chance to get the map that you need in order to find the Lair. Now let's look at how many T11s we have. T11 what? We're ignoring the shape map because we're talking from like the point where he has all the T10s unlocked, right? Like all T10s, like the normal ones, I mean it would be even worse if he had the shape map too. But let's be charitable. Let's be charitable for him, okay? And now we go for the 11s. Again 10, right? So out of these 10, 9 are unlocked, and one of them is locked. So the layer is locked. So you have first 10% chance to get a bug map. And then out of those 10, 9 are unlocked. So whenever you run a bug map, you have a 1 in 11, 1 out of 11 chance to get any of the random completed unlocked 11s. And then you would have 2 out of 11 to get the Lair, because 1 out of 11, like 1 divided by 11 multiplied by 2 is gonna be 2 divided by 11, right? So that's like, somebody go around the numbers. How many maps would we need to run when we consider dropping the T10, like finding the T10 map and then finding the T11? Because first we have 10% chance for each bug, and then this, right? Just wrong maths. It lessens them. Okay, I'm just saying that the chance for that to happen is extremely small and will take extremely long time to do. Alright? So that's why he thinks that he should, and that's why he probably locked all of his T11s. Oh, sorry. Not 2 out of 11. It's actually even less. I don't math anymore. Wait, so you have 10 maps. Wait, what? No, it is 2 out of 11. Shut up. The fuck, it is. Normally you would have 10 maps. If all were unlocked, you have 1 in 10 for each. But because one of them is locked, you have now twice the chance for that map. So you add 1 to the divider and you add 1 extra to the Can somebody add together 9 times 1 divided by 11 plus 2 divided by 11? That gives you 11 out of 11 equal 1. 100% chance. But the point was that it's extremely unlikely. I mean, well, it takes you a lot of time to first find the book, and then from there to find lair. It'll take you a lot of time, and that's why he relocked all of his T11s, so that when he runs the bug, or whatever the actual map was, now you have a higher chance to get the lair. It's funny, so he kinda understand the mechanics, but then he completely ignores the fact that you could just do the 3-1. In this case, since there's only 1 heart, he probably doesn't even know about 1 heart to obtain maps are. But in the case of the lair, you could just save until you have 3 box and you just do the 3-1 trade up and done. Just let's ignore that. We have to actually manually find every single map from the adjacent map that we're running. Just because. That's the only way. 3-1 recipe doesn't exist. Great. I actually genuinely feel bad for the guy. All the sextants he used to relock the maps must have been quite expensive. Especially in Solo Self-Found. Oh no! I didn't even think about that, but he was Solo Self-Found when he was talking about that. That's even worse. Okay. So basically this doesn't prove anything, right? Thanks for the Lord and Savior Demi, by the way. Numbers are talking for themselves. Yep. You don't know what you're doing, then your numbers aren't proving anything. Not playing Soul Self-Found at the moment, but now I know that I can't complete any T11 map without being sure to have all of those T11 in my stash. I mean, yeah, that's the idiot-proof strat. You go the tier by tier, sure. I mean, you can do that. It's totally fine. And that's actually I would recommend new players to, when they start the Atlas, to do the tier by tier. So don't actually complete the tier 2s until you have all of them. Don't complete tiers on, like, I would actually recommend that strat for complete new players. Right? Just because it's simple and you don't have to tinker your brain with convoluted mechanics, etc. So yeah. Yeah. It's actually, you know what? You know what's the best thing? The tier by tier, which he describes here, is literally explained in this video.
So now we want to start in our first maps. We won't go into all the detail on how to specifically tailor and craft each map here, but give a general guideline to get through the first 5 tiers of maps. In general, it is most important to get map atlas bonus percentage up to help bolster your chances at +1 or +2 tier maps where applicable. Here we'll just be covering the white map bases, tiers 1 through 5. All of these maps require just completion at magic rarity to get their atlas bonus, which is cheap and easy. So to ensure to craft all white tier maps at magic rarity with 2 affixes, 1 prefix, and 1 suffix, making use of transmutation, alteration, and augmentation orbs to sort out viable affixes. After their bonus lose currency that you will not have to concern or start next to complete all of the map.
Okay, here.
Look at a simple but slower Atlas progression squares, meaning that you will not have to re-roll your maps. For lower tier, non-red tier map bases, we will not concern ourselves with cartographers' chisels or other map enhancing methods quite yet. Since we are just starting with the basics, let's look at a simple but slower Atlas progression strategy that incorporates the Atlas mechanics.
Simple but slower Atlas progression strategy that uses the rules that we just laid out.
Mechanics that we have just discussed. The easiest progression strategy to visualize.
The easiest progression strategy to visualize. I mean, it's also the easiest progression strategy when you have no idea what you're doing. That's why it's mentioned here.
To do is to complete all of the maps of the current tier while getting.
Complete all the maps of the current tier while getting all of the next tier maps before moving on. Literally, what the shit the guy was talking in the comments. This is literally explaining that.
The next tier of maps from drops before running those. This means to start, you will want to complete all of your tier 1 maps, as well as get all of the locked and connected.
Because this is the basics of the basics. Like we will cover all the other currencies too. Don't worry about that.
Tier 2 maps to drop before moving on to starting your tier 2 maps.
I literally read it out loud for you. Complete all the maps of the current tier while getting all of the next tier of maps before moving on. And here it's visualized. So
because you want to maintain the double drop chance from the connected lock maps to force those individual bases of that next.
And that's the reason why the guy locked all of his T11s, because he wanted to get the double chance. Also, yeah, Ringbus, it's mentioned that that's only for the 1 to 5. Also, it's mentioned that you should arc your maps, but you should not chisel your maps if you're progressing early on and shit like that.
Tier to drop. If you were to complete a random tier 2 at this point, before getting all of them, you will have that unlocked map competing in the drop pool against all of the connected lock maps, hampering your progression.
No, really? That's whatever what Demi was trying to explained properly. Great.
Downside of this method is that you're missing out.
Okay, downside of this method. Let me just read it again. The downside: missing out on +2 rare drops from bosses. Okay, so if you're only running T1 maps, right? Because you're trying to get all the T2s before moving on, you're unable to obtain T3 maps because you don't have any T3s unlocked, right? Because they downgrade to T2. So that's why this strategy is not optimal. Right? It's fine, you can do it, it works. I'd recommend it for new players when you don't know anything about the Atlas. But the moment you start to understand how this works, you should move out of it. The longer you keep doing this strategy, the longer, like, it will take you fucking days, maybe weeks, to get to like even red maps, because at the point where you are when you're let's say that you have all T7s done right now, so you're trying to progress to T8. You have every single one of your T7 maps in your Atlas already been able to drop, and now you're just keeping running T7s until you get them the specific maps, right? If let's say that you have, I don't remember the exact numbers, but let's say we have 10 T7 maps and 10 T8 maps in the Atlas. And let's say that every single T7 map can only drop a specific T8. When you're looking for the last two or the last map on the tier 8, you again have like first 10% chance to get the T7, but then the higher chance to get the T8. So you can kind of make it easier by when you start going for the next tier. You only do like the first T8 map first, and then you keep running that T8 map until you obtain the next maps of them, and then you go back to then you complete another one, right? That makes it a bit easier early on, but it's still gonna be complete pain in the ass for the last 2 or last 3 or especially the last map of the tier. Obviously 3-1 recipe exists, but apparently this guy doesn't know it exists, so neither do we, so we don't talk about it. You have to find every map by actually finding it by running the map. Apparently. Yeah, 3-1 helps here. We have Zana that helps you too, up to T10 maps, of course.
Out on the +2 drops from map bosses, as you do not have any +2 maps unlocked, and makes farming the hard to obtain maps a bit more difficult. Hard to obtain maps are the maps that do not have a 3-1 vendor recipe. They do not have this recipe since they share a -1 tier adjacent map with many other maps of their tier, and only one of those maps from shared connection has the vendor recipe assigned. However,
I find that running the highest map I have consistently gets me through the Atlas the fastest on resets, and yeah, that's how you should do it. Even on solo self-fun, to some extent. Of course, it depends what kind of plan you have for your Atlas, but if your goal is to get to, like, as, you know, as high up to the Atlas as possible to get the Shaper and shit like that, you should always be, whenever you get a new tier map, you should always immediately complete it, so that you can find that as a +2 drop from, for example, the moment you find a T10 map, you should complete it, because it allows you to find that T10 map from a T8 map. And especially now with SANE 4, allowing you to do the random map of the same tier, that makes it even easier, right? So the moment you get at one T10, you're able to start, you can actually start completing all of them, right? By the SANE recipe. Like the SANE mod, sorry. Assuming it stays, of course, but like right now you can do that. Okay, let's go back to the comment. Okay. Especially for red maps, as you can't use SANE's same tier. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he knows that. Good. But you literally don't need to care about tier by tier strat before you reach red maps, because SANE 4 for 1 chaos each. And you also get rewarded, like, you actually obtain most of the hard to obtain maps by just taking it from the SANE reward when you do the quest line. Okay. Exact same thing with my only T12 map that I previously completed. Oh god. So yeah, this happens when you complete a T12. So now you can find that from T10 maps, right? The only T12 map that can drop from your T10, if this is your only T12 completed, is an Omicron Ruin. Yeah? This, when executed properly, means that you're going to be progressing up in red maps a lot faster than you would if you didn't do this. That's just a fact. So it doesn't really matter. And every single T12 can be obtained by doing 3-1. And you can also corrupt them with wall orbs from T11 to T12. There's so many ways to obtain the missing maps that you can get. So the tier by tier recipe, a tier by tier strat isn't great. Okay. So all this tells us that you completed the T12. Cool. He's just misunderstanding what's said in the video. Not only that, I mean, he doesn't understand what is said in the video, even though we talked exactly about those things here. But then he takes the Demi's video as gospel, even though in the first 2 minutes of the guide, or like the video, there's just a insane amount of misinformation. Even though Demi probably knows exactly how the system works, he's just terrible at explaining how it works. Okay. I mean, not terrible, he's literally misinforming when he's trying to explain it. Okay. And then another picture. What is this? Okay, that's T13. Yeah. What he fails to get though is that when you run this T13 malformation, you have a far greater chance to obtain the torture chamber, right? When you run the malformation, and if the only T12 map you have in your atlas is Overgrown Shrine, when you run this, whenever a T12 map was going to drop, the chance to get this is like 66.7%, while this is 33.3%. So you actually do gain progression on your other maps. It just means that you'll be getting these quite often. But then you can run this, and it can drop you Desert Spring at a higher chance than Malformation. Also, you have the chance to get the other T11s if you don't have them yet. Right? So there's nothing bad about that. Oh, no tier 30 validated. So I'm assuming this is like he means unlocked. The one I inventory is wall upgrade. Oh, wait, he's talking about. Oh, he's talking about this is an. Oh, he's saying that he walled a torture chamber into T13. Is that what he's saying? But why didn't he complete the torture chamber first? So it can drop. Okay. And I have yet, so he doesn't have a T15 or 14, I guess. How the fuck does this guy have a T15 shape map when he doesn't understand how the system works? What the fuck happened here? He wanted the Atlas bonus and walled the only one he had. Yeah, that's probably what happened. But like, I'm actually confused. How did he obtain it? How did he obtain those maps? Does his Atlas actually have... I would like to see a picture of his Atlas. Delve maybe. Oh yeah, actually, you can find random shape maps in Delve. That's true. So he could actually have obtained those 3 shape crypt maps from a Delve. That is actually a thing. Even if you don't have them, even if you don't have a shaped crypt in your Atlas, but I don't think that's the case. But it could be. Actually, if he killed Red Elder, he could have that orb. No, but he has a shaped museum. I mean, again, you can get that from Red Elder. Guess why Demi made a video. He makes a living out of his YouTube and streaming. That's because many of us were stuck. I mean, yeah, it probably does help the people who have no idea with how the Atlas works. Sure. It still has a lot of misinformation though, which Sky really likes to use as an argument. So he is a fan of Demi, so whatever Demi says is true. Yeah, I checked out the first 2 minutes which he used here. Like we're referring only the first 2 minutes or whatever he was talking about, so don't need to actually watch the rest of it. And he probably, if I end up highlighting and putting this into YouTube, he probably just, you know, wait, what's the word? I don't remember the letters. Probably copy strikes me. So, you know. DMCA, yeah, thank you. Okay, so the 3 T15s are shape maps. Too bad I don't have a normal T15 I have completed. So wait, he actually has obtained some of the memory, like the fragments, and has shaped them. And then is wondering why he can't. Okay, so if you if you have a shape atlas, you're also making it a lot harder for yourself to obtain the native maps. Okay. Can't provide data proof on this now, and don't want to try again. Waste time way too much with the wrecked atlas. I mean, he just doesn't know how the system works. That's pretty much it. Okay. Oh yeah, and this is a different one. Oh, so he didn't even listen to the video. Like, he said map dropped by breach monsters. I do state that in the video. Same, and then he says about the same about essence mob. Yes, essence monsters, rare essence monsters also drop maps. Yep, that is true. Again, if you watch the video, rare league monsters. Okay, and then I come in to try to help the man out. I'm also slightly tilted. Like I'm now. Okay. Still there, you're wrong, your data is not proving any points and damage video sync. This summarizes the stuff, right? Okay, none of the things mentioned in the videos are incorrect. So we did not say that rare essence monsters can drop maps. We didn't say that rare breach monsters or the breach boxes can drop maps. We didn't say that. And then, of course, the rule 2 that he says that is not true is actually true. We'll get into a second. Okay. None of the things mentioned in the video. Damage video is to help people who are not familiar with the system at all, and it's the most stupid proof. Yeah, I would actually recommend all the new players who get into Atlas to follow the tier by tier strat a bit. Yeah, if you don't know like how the system works. Partly why we're making the guide, so that people can understand how the system works, so they don't have to do that unoptimized progression strat. Which, by the way, is covered in the video. So that's the tier by 3, which is mentioned here. It is, however, extremely inefficient and bad strategy to follow if you know what you're doing. So if you know about how the system works and how you can obtain the maps without actually finding them from the adjacent maps, you don't need to do that. You should not do that. It just slows you down. Right? And want to progress the high tiers faster. If you don't mind the slow progress and you just want to do it like that, maybe your character is weak, or I don't know what reason, maybe you just like doing it like that, sure, go ahead. Especially now when you have good access to Horizon Orbs. Yeah, in Soul Self-Fun League, you don't start getting these until... I mean, well, Delve gives Horizon Orbs. Zana missions with Harpies give Horizon Orbs. Shaper Strongholds, which you will have 4 in yellow tiers, will give you, in those 4 Shaper Strongholds, you will obtain at least 1 or 2 orbs. If you don't, you're extremely unlucky. So there's like 3 different ways to get Horizon Orbs. Even more once you get to the red tiers and also complete those strongholds. There's no reason at all to be stuck doing low tier maps because you want to do them a tier at a time. Well, other than just bonding, yeah. You can do it if you want though. The rule 2, connected lock map. So you know, if you have a connected lock map, it has a higher chance. Blah blah blah. Talk about it a lot. Has a high chance. Put it in the patch notes. I'm assuming he can like at least put the patch notes in the Google Translate for his native language. So he might understand it, but it's mentioned there. And during that time, so here's the patch note, right? You are now twice as likely to obtain maps you have not yet completed on the Atlas as maps you have. This is intended to help players who choose to play solo complete Atlas. Okay, there has been quite a bit of discussion and confusion how this works. apparently people still don't know how this works. So I contacted Bex for some clarification. Oh, it's gone. Feels bad, man. It's probably because it was on my account and I did some purge. Fuck. That actually feels bad, man. That it's purged. Maybe I should get the shit again so I have it. But basically, we oh, please tell me the response is still there. Fuck. So yeah, either way, I asked her questions. Like I made claims, right? So I made 4 claims, and I got a response to all of them. So the change only affects locked maps compared to unlocked maps. Yeah. Yada yada yada. And then the TLDR, all of these claims are true. So we have dev confirmations that it works like that. Sadly, I had them on my account, on my like Imgur account, and not just the random Imgur like anonymous upload, because then I think they stay. But since they were on my account, and at some point I just deleted a bunch of shit there because there was just way too much shit, I accidentally apparently deleted these 2, which just feels bad. So I guess that's on me. But you can send this to any dev who knows anything about it. You can send this to Mark, you can send this to Neon, you can send this to... You can probably send this to just as a normal like contact and ask for clarification, and you're gonna get the response that this works. Unless they're changing something in 3.5. But in 3.4, which is right now, this is still how it works. You can also prove this. You can prove all of this by just playing the game and carrying data. By the way, his numbers speak for themselves, by the way. So yeah, either way. What damage says in the video is around 140. So this is the... It says that if you have the Ancient City unlocked, completed, and you're running a T4 Crota with no unlock completion on channel or maze, the chance that when T5 drops is actually 1 out of 5 or 20%, while Demi says that it's more likely to get that. Sure, if there's a chance that you get it, now that there's a chance that it drops, I guess it's more likely because it can drop, but you're still not more likely to get that map over the 2 other maps. That's the key difference here. It's true over that if you do know, you start to pile them while running other T4 maps. Yeah, we mentioned that. That's fine, that's true. It's still not going to be favored, which was basically what Demi was saying. Okay, now I'm taking... He said it somewhere here. But now I know that I can't complete any T11 map without being sure to have all those T11 in my stash. This is just not true at all. Look at it, yeah. This is the, you know, the quote. This is not true at all. You can obtain all but 1 T11 by doing 3-to-1 recipe. The one being Primordial Pool. I think, yeah. You don't need to run those maps and manually find them. Apparently you do, I guess. You're a purist. Fuck the recipes. You're gonna find them. You can obviously choose to do so, even though it's not ideal progression. Like I said, very welcome to do it. Just don't tell that's the only way to do it or the best way to do it, because it's not. If you'd like to learn how to do more efficiently, I have a lengthy video. So I just gave him some actual guide about that shit. This is probably just gonna go like that. And I even say it's slightly outdated now because of, you know, the Sana random map and horizon orbs and yada yada yada. And he just responded to me. I haven't actually read this yet. I just saw that he responded to me. Or I guess I read a bit of the start when I clicked the bell, right? Okay. Stop pretending thing and go sole self-fund to try what you claim. Mom, I'm being cyberbullied. Mom. And a big lol about horizon orbs. I mean, that's somewhat justified. The horizon orb is somewhat justified, but you still you can obtain them. Old Zana, when you have Zana daily, there's quite often an option to do Harvey map, which gives you horizon orbs. Whenever you get a Zana mission in a map, there's a chance for there to be a Harvey which gives you horizon orbs. They're strongholds, and you can find them in Delve. Okay? I think that's fair to say that horizon orbs are obtainable. You're not like showering in them, but you can get them. And when you're going to reach red maps, good luck if you wrecked your atlas by completing some maps and don't have the other in your stash. You can say whatever you want. I didn't have any issue in Soul Self and Incursion. I have huge trouble in Soul Self and Delve. Not theory here. Did you like lose brain cells between Incursion and Delve? The fuck happened between Incursion and Delve? And I'm not the only one. Keep pretending whatever. If your information is incorrect, people are just going to... If your information is incorrect, people are just going to go away. E2 said... E2 should be careful with that. I wasn't watched Demi's channel that much before that, but he really saved a bunch of players this league. E2. I mean, it's like engineering authority, so it's like I don't know the word in English, but you know, you multiply the E by itself, so you get like you get this, right? Is it, yeah, squared, right? You get... Are you like dying? Oh, I was trying to put E in there, but you get like this, right? Assume that's E. Where is it? Why can't I see it? See, here you have the 2, right? That's the whole point. He somehow... I mean, he just didn't want to do the uppercase thing in there. Oof. What is this comment? It's not all right to admit you're wrong. Dude, I don't even... Maybe I should just go play some solo self-found. What do you guys think? Where in the ES video he goes over the rule 2? Atlas drop mechanics.
Now, Phil, and note that all tier 1 maps locked tier 3 have not then be able to reach lock then
3 minutes and
maps
40
map
seconds.
base that is currently being run.
Ish.
Rule number 2: connected lock maps to the map base that is currently being run.
I mean, obviously the guy just doesn't know that I played solo self-found. Basically exclusively since Breach. I mean, obviously he doesn't know that, right? I probably have more hours in this game playing solo self-found than this guy will have in this game coming the next 2 years. Assuming he has a family and a job and everything. Like, wait, this guy definitely doesn't have a. But like. I did a horrible mistake. I did a horrible mistake by trying to help someone. Okay, I was I mean, you could kind of argue that this is offensive. I wouldn't say that this is offensive. I could say this kind of condescending, but it's. I mean, I could try to sugarcoat it, I guess. Should not be so so obvious, but like I provided him resources. I like. It's hard facts, but it's said loosely. I mean, yeah, I could probably have said it in a like the TLDR in a slightly non-elitist way, I guess, but I'm just a human, okay? I was slightly tilted for various reasons. Like he tried to help the guy, he tried to help the guy, but like, the fuck is this numbers and evidence? Just like. I like actually feel physically ill right now. Also, I have to remember that I mean, you guys can like, some of you probably disagree and everything, but you know, I can kind of say that you're, you know, like my community, you like me and my views, right? So whatever I say, as long as I'm not like advocating for people to murder themselves or like kill themselves or murder other people, you're probably gonna be agreeing, right? So I could, it's kind of an echo chamber, right? But like, holy shit, the shit here is just like. Is this how is this the feeling when you just like, you have to realize the sad fact that not everyone can be helped. When unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Ah. Is this something I should like upload to YouTube for the funsies? Like, if everyone could be helped, this world would be a better place. Yeah. Like, I'm actually like a bit sad. Like, I'm sad and I'm frustrated and I'm disappointed, to say the least. Oh, later, Seth. And like, I don't know, dude. I need to do this in a different tab just in case. Is that, I think that's French, probably? Is that French? I'm not sure. Thomas Vendes. Les Deux. I'm really bad at languages, but I would this kinda looks like French, I think. But what are these about? Like it looks like, I don't know if these are like trying to are these like educational videos or what? He's just a dude that didn't understand the video. No. He's not just a dude who didn't understand a video. He's a dude that didn't understand a video. He misunderstood 2 videos and refuses to acknowledge that because of his anecdotal experiences with the Atlas, because he didn't understand how the system works. Yeah. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna go in the Solar Self Found and try the things that I'm claiming. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take his advice and I'm gonna try to do this in Solar Self Found. Thank you for that. Maybe I'll find some clarity and learn about the game by playing Solar Self. Maybe. Okay, I need to stop. I'm losing brain cells. I wonder how long this shit was.